this absence of social cues, absence of like being in the physical presence of someone. This is an alien way of communicating. It's not normal.
Yeah, I got toast just like you. I've got Marmite on mine. Do you want to try some Marmite?
No, I don't like Marmite.
I don't know what to film this week.
You're talking with your mouth full.
Sorry. Who do I sound like when I talk with my mouth full?
Grandma.
If you had to make a film, what would your film be about? Me? You'd make the film about me? That's flattering. I don't think I'm an interesting enough subject, but... Have you got any other ideas? Have you got a story you'd like to tell?
Charlie Cook.
Charlie Cook.
What?
Do you know what you want for Christmas yet?
Uh-huh.
What?
A transformer.
Is that it?
A rescue transformer. I want the blue one with the lights on it and they can...
Oh.
I'm presented with three tempting options in this situation. The first option is I could get angry. Well, this is futile and nobody really benefits. Two, I could make him clean it up himself because then it will teach him that his rather cavalier attitude towards the monetary value of a liquid beverage, I say this one was about 32p give or take, may result in him having to do something a bit boring like retrieving some kitchen roll before soaking up the spill and then unceremoniously binning the sodden tissue. Or three, I could just do it myself and then complain at him for a bit. Let's see which one I went for.
Just put your cup further away from your hand and you won't knock it over.
What was that?
I know, but every drink, Grayson, you've ever had, you've spilt. I feel like I spend my whole life just mopping up after your spilt drinks. And all you have to do is put your cup further away from you and not put it next to you. You always put your cup right there, and that's why you knock it over. And the amount of times I tell you, put your cup further away from you, you don't.
I will put my cup further away from me.
But you don't. You always say that you will, and then you don't. You put it next to you and knock it over every time. Hundreds of drinks I've been mopping up. See? You just knocked it over again.
I didn't spill the milk.
Some water. Guess what?
Please.
Okay. I don't know what to film this week. I'm stuck. I'm out of ideas. I've got no story to tell. I've got no story.
Why?
Because I can't think of one. My mind's empty.
Charlie Cook.
So I tell the story of Charlie Cook? Maybe I'll do that. Thanks, Bubs.
What does this say?
It says, I can't stop spilling my drinks.
Does it actually say that?
Once upon a time, there was a boy called Charlie Cook who curled up on a cosy chair and read his favourite book. About Sir Percy Pilkington, a bold and fearless knight, who told the dragon, "Wait, you must hear this one first." And then his armour clanked and shook. He read aloud a joke he found inside his favourite book. About an oak tree full of birds. Each bird had built a nest, and they had a competition to decide which one was best. They chose an owl to judge it, and the winner was a rook, whose nest was lined with pages from his very favourite book.
Milk. Let's get some milk, Bubba.
About a girl who saw a flying saucer in the sky. Some small green men were in it, and they waved as they flew by. She tugged her mother's sleeve and said, "Look, Mum, what I've just seen." But Mum said, "Hush, I'm trying to read my favourite magazine." about a wicked jewel thief who stole the king's best crown, but then got stuck behind some sheep, which slowed his car right down. The king got on the phone and soon the police had caught the crook and flung him into prison where he read his favourite book. About the biggest birthday cake you'd ever seen. A team of royal cake makers had made it for the Queen. The cake was so delicious, a famous spaceman took a slice of it to Jupiter. He also took his favourite book. About a ghost who glided around every castle at night, carrying her head and giving everyone a fright. She kept it up till morning, then she found a shady nook and put her head back on again to read her favourite book. About a cosy armchair and a boy called Charlie Cook.
Look how cute this guy looks. Look at this. Aren't you? Yeah. You okay? Last week the video had a story. It had what I would consider to be a good story, writing a song about something stupid. I liked it. This week I can't find a story. It's evading me, and I've just been sitting for hours looking at a blinking cursor, and the cursor just keeps blinking at me. I feel that if you don't have a story, you hide behind pretty shots and nice music. And I hid there for a long time, but I feel now that hiding place is just so apparent, and everyone knows that if you can't come up with a good story, then you just hide behind good shots. What's important is structure and story and all the stuff that I probably would have learned if I went to film school, but didn't. But I'm kind of learning it the long way round, and I'm learning how important it is. Anyway, the story of today is changing Rufus's nappy. So let's go and do that. Should we go and change your nappy? That's a yes. I love your laugh, Misty. You're so cute. Who needs a story when we got you laughing, mister? I'm so done with this weather. I'm so done with grey skies. Were you in Australia this time last year?
Yeah.
I miss Australia, do you? I miss
do.
acai bowls. Acai bowls. I miss blue skies.
Do you remember just going to the beach in the evening? And it was still really warm.
The lighting as well.
We'd be like, oh, never mind about Grayson's bedtime, let's just go for a walk on the beach.
Oh, I miss those days. Christmas markets tomorrow night then?
Yeah.
Apparently it's absolutely hell on earth.
Who told you that?
Everyone I've said to, oh, we're going to go to the Christmas markets too.
Like who?
Everyone at CrossFit says it's hell on earth. I think Neil said it was hell on earth. I think it's because it's so packed and said, oh, it's beautiful, it's amazing, but it's just too many people there.
Of course it's going to be busy there, it's a Christmas market. There's people everywhere, you won't be able to do any tripod shit.
I wouldn't mind people being everywhere, but I just hate the way people dress. They always wear fleeces and bright coloured anoraks. I wish people would dress like they dressed like kind of a couple of 100 years ago, in rags and stuff. Nicer. Same with cars. Cars just ruin everything. They're all horrible and they just look gross, modern cars.
Why is it so dark?
Right, anyway. We'll get back to work.
I'm going to tell you a story about my first love. Vari Johnson. We were about 7 years old and we were in the same class. She was what we called top of the class. It basically meant she was far more intelligent than the rest of us. As luck would have it, Vari Johnson also happened to be my neighbour. But sadly, every rose has its thorns, and these thorns came in the shape of two older brothers who loved nothing more than to give me beats. One day after school, Vara and I were playing up a tree in her garden, and it was my job to go and fetch her things. She would tell me to go and get her a drink, and I'd come back with an imaginary drink, and then I'd have to go and get her flowers, and I'd come back with a twig with a leaf dangling off it, and then she said something that seemed to make all the birds stop singing just to turn and look at what was about to happen. She said, "Now you can kiss me." It felt like time froze for an eternal moment. I leaned down and I softly kissed her cheek. My heart swelled so much it felt like it was going to burst inside my chest. Finally, I could tell her how much I've always loved her. We could plan how we'd run away from our horrible older brothers and make a new life for ourselves in Winchester with no homework or dentists or bedtimes to worry about. But before the first word could spill from my mouth, she was already halfway down the garden running into our house. She turned around and looked at me and shouted, "See you tomorrow, Stef." I felt like I'd only just seen colour for the first time. I was dumbfounded and totally awoken. This is Vari Johnson, top of the class Vari Johnson. Perfect in every single way. What could she see in me? When I got home, I ran to the mirror in my house. I don't know why. I think I just wanted to see what the boy looked like who just kissed Vari Johnson. I noticed something over my beaming face. I noticed that my hair was looking rather great that day. I had this very pronounced side sweep, voluptuous side sweep. From that day on, I spent every morning trying to replicate that wonderful sweep, but never quite managed it. Truth be known, I still try to this day. I sailed through the playground on cloud 9 with my chest touching the sky. I felt like the most significant boy in the world that day. It's not worn off. I made my way to class and joined the queue for assembly. What a perfect time to tell everyone, I thought. I wonder if I should go first or wait for her to announce it. But before I could decide, Vari turned around and looked at me and said two words that sucked all the colour out of my world and planted this huge, ugly, racist frog right in my throat. She simply said, "I don't," and then turned away from me. I'll never forget how hard it was to hold on to that sadness all day when all I wanted to do was cuddle my mum and cry for 1,000 years. I knew I had to wait hours before I could let the sadness pour out of my eyes and into my mum's jumper, but I held on to it all day. Eventually, when the bell rang and I climbed into the car with my mum and closed the door, I cried more than I've ever cried before. And that is the story of my first love. I'd just like to say, if you're watching Vari Johnson, fuck you. I didn't expect it to be this nice.
See, why do you think I dragged you down
I thought it'd be a
here?
couple of sheds selling tat, but actually everything's really
It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, it's beautiful, so romantic.
Yeah, and I think we've come at the right time as well because it's really quite quiet.
While we're here, the shop's over there that sells a wobbly
Wobbly
man.
man!
We should get it for Grayson.
Yeah.
That's our Christmas shopping done.
Yep.
Are you having a nice time?
Yeah, love it.
The lens has gone all steamy and it makes it look all dreamy. How Christmassy.
It is rather festive.
How festive.
Little Rue's going to have his first Christmas symbol. He's had a great Christmas experience so far. He's got some sheepskin gloves. He's walked around the market. He's got mulled wine on his hoodie.
It's so much more fun, isn't it, when you have kids, when
Yeah,
it's Christmas?
it is. Especially when they can understand.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about Grayson opening up the wobbly man.
£4 for his Christmas present. Pretty happy about that one. I wish I was as cheap as him.
Yeah, me too.
I'm really excited about drinking mulled wine and all these dark coloured drinks over our cream carpets. Who's dialing me? Zach just sent me a message saying, first time using the fireplace in my room, set up a comfy armchair and Zelda, and brought a beer and an ale beef stew for dinner. I can just imagine him sitting there with his roaring fire.
Really pleased with himself.
Ale and beef stew and playing his Zelda game.
Aww.
Bless him. Oh, Zach and Ryan might come up again soon.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Ryan would be one of those people, though, that he'll spend ages looking at everything.
Yeah, he'd like look at every bauble for about 15 minutes and he'd be like, oh, come on, for God's sake. This one's quite a nice bauble, this one's, I like this one, so I do. Come on, Ryan. Put the bauble down. Are you happy we moved to Bath?
Yeah.
No regrets whatsoever? I'm happy too.
That's good.
Thought you should know. Thought I should tell
Are
you
you
that.
happy?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think it was a good choice.
I'm happy, yes.
Do you reckon we'll be here forever though? Do you reckon we'll grow old here?
I'd like to. I feel like the only reason I really moved out of Bath before wasn't because I particularly wanted to move out of London, it was just the situation that I was in that made me move.
Yeah.
And I sort of always knew that I'd end up coming back.
Did you?
Yeah.
7 o'clock's pretty much time for us to get up into bed. How sad is that we get into bed at like 7 o'clock these days?
Well, it's just easy with the baby.
I love it. Lying in bed, playing Doom on the Switch while you watch I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here.
Yeah, I've got such a guilty pleasure for it. I feel so dirty after I've watched it.
I feel dirty after watching it too.
But I love it.
Yeah. I've got my novelty Christmas hat on.
I've got a bit of fluff in my eye.
Yeah, if Hannah's doing some weird twitch thing, she's not in the midst of a stroke. She's
I can't get it out.
got something in her eye.
Anyway, stop staring at me.
Sorry, it's quite compelling watching you lift up your eyelid constantly.
There is 20% off everything in Mags London for Black Friday / Cyber weekend. It ends at midnight on Monday. So if you fancy going to the site and picking up some Christmas presents, now is the time, I guess, to do it.
Yeah, we'll see you all next week for more shenanigans. I'm going to stop saying that because it's like turning into a horrible catchphrase. I don't want to have a catchphrase. See you next week for more shenanigans. Ugh. The more I do this, the more I dislike
love that
myself.
that hat doesn't actually fit.
It doesn't fit my stupid shaped head, man. Mum and Dad, how did you give me this weird head?
I feel more sorry for your mum.
Such a bizarre shaped head. My friends used to call me Hammerhead.
Like the shark.
Yeah. I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like I haven't said something I needed to say.
Something you're missing.
There always is something I haven't said that I needed to say, but I don't know what it is. I'll get to the edit and be like, damn. But never mind. Anyway, too late now. Steph, teaches you to write notes all the time about what you need to say in the outro. You didn't do it this week. Serves you right for messing this one up.
There was one thing you had to remember. Literally one thing. All you had to do was remember to say that the Tom Rosenthal song, the Christmas #1 that you're working on, is not released this week, but we're going to try and release it next week. That's all you had to say. And you forgot. You're an idiot.
Ta-ra for now.
Ta-ra for now, guys. Bye.
Ta-ta.